So there's one topic actually in finance space. So whatever we discussed till now, right? So everything remains same for all the objects, whether it is material, your CRs, your workflows, your baddies, everything remains same for all these objects for BP, customer, vendor, finance objects, even that Ethiopia solution or your custom objects, everything remains same. The only one additional topic that is very specific to finance is this particular edition. Okay, so what is this edition and why we need why what is so very specific to finance that it needs this particular concept, that we will discuss this one. Maybe if you are not working on finance object immediately, but this will very helpful when you are actually working on finance objects. Okay, so we are talking about something called edition. Okay, so this is very specific to finance. So if you take any normal master data, let's say for example material master. So I created a material 100. The material, when I'm creating this material, right, that material, let's say for example the unit of measure for this particular material when I'm creating is each. Okay, so after that, maybe I created some orders at this point of time, some 10 orders. Okay, so in all these 10 orders, this material will be having the unit of measure as each. Okay, because at the time when you're creating these 10 orders, the unit of measure for that material is 100. Now, after that, after some days, I change the unit of measure from each to, let's say, for example, PC, some different value. Now, I created some orders for this one. So, let's say 10 more orders. So, this time, the unit of measure in these 10 orders will be, it will reflect this value, PC. Now, by any chance, if you open the old orders, just for display purpose, right? So that time what happens, it will always shows up in PC, because we are not actually keeping multiple copies of the same material. You will always keep the material will have the latest value all the time. So you changed already from each to PC. Of course, in the change documents, you will be having the value change from each to PC. But the order, when you open the old orders, it will reflect this value PC, because at that time in my Mara table, currently in my Mara table, this value is there. So system will obviously, it will pick up this value and it will show that in the order, right? So that means at any point of time, if you open this particular your object, you will have the latest value. This is common for your material, BP, customer, vendor, all other objects except finance. But this is very important in finance. Okay, so what is that? Let's say I am creating a cost center. Okay, for the cost center CC01. Okay, let's say cost center description is, let's say the description is ABC. At this point of time, I'm taking this field, but you can take any other field which is associated with the cost center. Okay, so you used this cost center description in multiple orders. Let's say 10 orders. Now, after that, you change the value to 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you created 10 more orders. Okay, so now if you open these 10 orders, okay, still you will see this value ABC, not 1, 2, 3. Because especially for finance objects, the whatever this particular, when you're creating any orders, so whatever the values are there at that particular point of time for that particular master data, those values only applicable if you anytime if you open these old orders. Okay, so this is the difference. That means in finance, what happens is when you create an object, okay, this you will be achieving this kind of thing you will achieve using something called addition. Okay, I will show you how it addition look like. Okay, so this is, you can assume your addition is something like similar to your change request type concept only. Okay, I'll show you that one. So what happens? This addition, right? So when you're in the system, just like how you are creating a CR type configuration, you also need to create something called addition. So what does this mean? In the addition, you will associate something called validity period. Okay, you create some addition ED1, addition 1, and the validity of this addition 1 is 01 January 24 to, let's say, 05 May 24. So this is the validity period. You can, okay, and whatever the changes that you are doing for your CC cost center 01 during this period, you will always associate this change when you're creating it, when you're changing, right? You will always associate the addition. I will show you that in the system. Now let's look at in the system. You will first, I wanted to show the output. So okay, you can see here, there is a chartered account. Okay. Now, okay, you can see this, there is this is a cost center. Okay. So now you can see this cost center, the number is same, the description is different, right? And there is a validity is also associated. Okay, so every change that you do in finance objects, definitely there will be something called validity period associated. Unlike your MMBP other objects, you don't have this kind of validity period. But in the for the finance objects, you will always have something called validity period. How this validity period will be assigned to this particular object, I will I'll explain here. So when you are creating any finance objects, what happens is, okay, so first you will create something called addition, ED1, ED1 some name, addition, and you specify the validity period is 01 24. So initially it will be like 12,999. That is the end of the system date initially. Okay, so you create a cost center. When you're creating a cost center, you will associate ED1. You need to specify what is the addition for this particular cost center. Just like how you are assigning a CR type, you also need to assign an addition when you're creating any finance object. So you will assign this addition for the cost center. Okay, so this is the addition you are assigning. Okay, so with this one, what happens is, whatever the validity period is there for this particular addition, that validity period will be automatically applied to your cost center. Similarly, you create some profit center. For profit center also, you will assign this particular addition, because all these are finance objects, right? So whenever then after that you create a GL account, you create company code. So whatever the finance objects that you are going to create, you need to assign the addition. So when you are assigning this addition, what will happen is the validity period that is associated for that particular addition will be applied to all the objects. Okay, so now one is validity when you are assigning addition to your finance objects. So one is validity period will be applied to all these objects. Okay, the second point is, okay, so usually what happens in material master, when you create a CR for material master, and when you approve or activate the CR, automatically your replication will happen. The object will be replicated automatically to your target system. But in finance objects, what happens is, when to replicate these objects, that setting will be mentioned in this addition. In the addition, you will specify the when to replicate this object. What does that mean? I will explain. So the replication of these objects will be controlled by this addition, not by the individual objects. So these are the two things SAP provided. These two features SAP provided in the form of addition. Okay, validity we know, because you in your organization also we will be having cost centers. So those cost centers will get changed for every quarterly basis or yearly basis. You cannot use the last when you are creating a travel request. You need to assign a valid cost center. You cannot use whatever the cost center that used the last year, because the last year cost center validity is already expired. Now, business will be creating a new cost center for your current expenses, and you need to use the valid cost center, right? So that means for every finance object, validity period is very important. When you are creating a cost center, when you are changing a cost center, when you are creating a profit center, changing any object, for sure you need to assign a validity period. This object, what is the validity period of this object? Okay, so your addition drives that validity period. At the same time, your addition also controls your data replication. When to happen, you create a CR for this object and you approve and activate this CR. It won't replicate automatically. Similarly for profit center, similarly for GL account, there are certain settings that when you are creating this addition, you need to define certain settings. So based on the settings only, your data will be replicated. What are those options? That I will show you. We will discuss now. At very high level, is this clear to everyone?
So this will be done by technical person or functional guy?
Functional.
Okay. For this, there are separate Fiori team available or?
This is whoever is working on MDG finance objects, they should aware of this addition concept.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So now how to create an addition, just like how you are creating a change request type concept. So there will be an addition concept also there. Okay, so NW will see. First, I will show you how to create an addition, and then we will see how this addition will be used while creating the finance objects. Okay, so here, finance accounting. Okay, so there is an option. This is a finance homepage. Okay, now here you can see there is something called addition. You don't find this link in your MM or BP or anywhere. Only you will find this link in this one, like a finance homepage only. Okay, so click on this addition, create. Okay, so addition. So you can, when you do an F4, let's give a name, ed_demo. So I'm creating one addition. So you can name anything over here. Okay, demo addition. Now, for every addition when you're creating, there should be something called addition type. So this is a SAP provided standard addition type, OG_all. So you need to use this one type only. So you can just choose in the drop down also, it shows only that one. Okay, and you need to, as I said, the validity period you need to set. So for addition, we talked about here two properties. One is validity period, other one is the replication. Okay, so this is the place where you will assign a validity. So from when this will be valid. Let's say, for example, I'm specifying it is valid from, let's take today's date, 28th. Okay, so that means here valid from. For this addition, valid to will be always 12 31st 999. That is the end of that one. So when you create another addition, what happens is this addition validity will be set to current date, and the new addition validity end date will be set to 1299. I will show you that one. Okay, so validity, always you need to choose the valid from, and the other one is replication timing. So this is the second thing that I mentioned over here. Okay, so replication timing. So what are the options that you have? What on the replication timing? Okay, so there are three options are there. Okay, so what is the first option?
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features: bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
Okay. What does this first option says? Manually started after release of edition. That means you created a cost center here, CR1. You created a profit center using CR2. Create a GL account using CR3. Create a company code using CR4. So you created these objects using these 4 change request types. And these change requests are activated also. But there won't be any data replication. The data will be replicated. For all these 4 objects, you assign the edition as this one, ED1. So when you release ED1 edition, then when you release this one, this particular edition, that means during that time, all the objects under this particular edition, what are the objects are there? CR1, CR2, CR3, CR4. So all these objects will be replicated to the target system. Replicated. Okay. That means the replication of your individual object will be the data will be replicated only when you release your edition. That is the first option. Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
just a quick question. If you go back to the sheet, so you mentioned all these objects are created through CR1s. Is it the very first time creation, or is it they are created through the change request?
Yeah. So for all these objects, right? Let me show you here. Whenever you are creating any object, it will ask you to choose an edition. Along with the CR type, you also need to choose the edition as well.
Yeah. But the creation of, cost center, does it need a CR first of all, or is it just
Yes, CR will be there. Because
Okay.
why you need the CR? Because all your derivations, validations, your complete governance process will be controlled via CR.
Okay. So
And edition will be only to control when to replicate the data and what is the validity period.
Okay. Okay.
And this edition only applicable for finance objects?
Yes. Yes. This is only applicable for finance objects, no other objects. And actually, in fact, SAP, they're also working on to remove this edition and keep finance object as much as simple, just like other objects. But that will take some time. But for now, you have this edition concept. Okay. So if you look at how come this is different for finance, if you go to MDG IMG, general settings, data model, edit data model. Why? Because you see, for this particular finance object, this is edition enabled. Just a minute. Okay. No, not here. If you go to the change request types level, if you look at the change request types for finance object, see here, edition type is assigned OG_all. This value, when you are creating a change request type, you will assign this edition type only for finance objects. For other objects, you don't fill this data. See, for material master, you will only fill the data model. But only for the finance object, you will fill this one. This is a standard one, OG_all. So that's why when you are creating any object, right, I will show you that one. Let me first finish this, how to create an edition, And then when you are creating a cost center or profit center, you will have better clarity. For now, what I'm showing is how to create an edition. See, I just created one edition. This is the name of my edition. And I specified this is the validity on every financial year starting, right? So the MDG, the finance business team, they create these editions. Whoever is using MDG finance, they create this edition with the validity. Usually they create it for the current financial year. And you will specify the replication timing. So in this replication timing, I'm just first explain this option. That means your objects won't get replicated once your CR is activated. Only when if you choose this edition with this setting, your data will be replicated only when you release this edition, ed_demo. When you release, all the objects that are there under this particular edition will be replicated to the target system. Now, you have another option. I don't want it to release only when this edition is released. Just like MM and BP, how whenever my CR got activated, how those objects are automatically replicating. So I need the same behavior for my finance objects as well. Then you need to choose the second option. What is the second option? Says on final approval of your change request. That means whenever you create your individual CRs for all your finance objects and those objects are getting activated, CS got getting activated, during that time it automatically replicates this. If you choose the second option, it will be just like your how the other objects are behaving, right? The same concept. On final approval of your change request. Okay, and most of the time we use this option only. SAP provided these options, but most of the time we use this option only. Okay, and what is the third option? The third option talks about selecting each change request. At this point of time, I don't have clarity whether I wanted to choose this option, this option. If I choose this option, what happens is in your CR itself, you get an option to release that to replicate on a final approval or along with the release of the edition. So what your 1 and 2 options will be shown on your CR level if you choose this option. So for now, I'll choose this option because these two are very clear. But this one, how the UI look like, I will show. That's why I'm just selecting this option. And after that, I'll just save this. Okay, so now I created one edition. Fine. So now let's go back and create one finance object. You can see GL account. I wanted to create a GL account. So let me click on this GL account.
Sorry, one more question.
Yeah.
When you say release, does it mean activating the edition?
Not activating. There is a release option for the edition. I'll show you how to release an edition.
Okay.
Now you see my screen. I'm trying to create one GL account. There is only one CR type. That CR type is system took automatically. You don't get this in the CR type pop-up edition of input field. You don't get for MM and BP. But for finance objects, you see this one. Why? Because this ACC1P2, this object, if I click on position, see, this is edition enabled because we selected this as edition type. That's why it is asking you need to input an edition along with your CR type. You also need to input an edition. With this one, whatever the GL account I'm going to create, for that GL account, the validity period will be set from this particular edition, and the replication setting of that also will be set from this edition. So when you do an F4, see, this is the edition which we created. Okay, I selected this edition that we just created. Click on OK. So everything remains same. Your UI, like you have your change request, the description, everything. But you can input all your GL account to the data over here. But see here, what is the difference? First is because we selected that particular edition, the validity, this particular UIBB is not there for your other objects. But for your finance object, the validity period this is the edition that we selected. Because of this one, the validity period is assigned this one. So for my current object, the validity period derived from this particular edition. Is this clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Now,
it will show under object level.
what do you mean by object level? It's object level only. Your CRU.
Here,
Yes.
it will show that details.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So
Okay.
along with this validity UIBB will be coming only for the finance objects. And along with that one, you can also see the replication timing. This also you don't see this field in your other objects. Why? Because now in the edition I selected, at your individual CR level, take which option you wanted to choose. Either you wanted this, once this CR is approved, activated, that time you wanted to replicate this data, or when you release your edition, then you wanted to replicate the data. So you have option. See, it's very simple. You have for replication option 1, 2, 3. On the edition level, I selected this option. What this option says is show these two options on the CR UI, so that user will decide at what point of time he has to replicate. But if I choose option 1 in my edition, what option 1 says? At the time of release of edition. Option 2, it will say on your final approval of change request. So in these two options, if I select either of these two options in my edition, on the UI, you don't see this particular replication thing, this one. But if you choose the third option says choose your replication timing at the time of CR. That's why I got these two options over here. Now, because some people wants to replicate at the time of release of the edition, some people want to replicate the data on fly after CR approval. That's why you got these options. This is the only difference. So this edition concept, how to create an edition, that which I just showed you, how to create an edition. And after that, once you create an edition, when you are actually selecting creating cost centers or profit centers or anything, you will get up in the CR type. Along with the CR type, you will also get the edition field. And on this object of CR UIBB, you will see this replication timing and the validity periods. And rest from here, account details onwards, you need to input your master data values and which will actually while creating your cost centers. Okay. So going back to.
So while we are choosing that first option, either first or second option, if we choose the second option like the final approval, that option, so then automatically it will be work or be
No, it will automatically work. Automatically it will replicate the data. The second option, on your change request approval activation, automatically the data will be replicated.
Okay, no additional configuration in the back.
Your DRF configuration has to be done, right? So that has to be done.
Okay.
Without your DRF configuration, nothing will get replicated. Not only for this.
In that DRF configuration, we need to do any changes.
Nothing. How we actually configure our DRF thing, the same way you need to do. Okay. So now I will show you one example here. Okay. So let's look at this particular diagram. What happens is there is I created one account. Okay. You see here, there's an account A created. And when I'm creating this account A, I selected this edition 1. Okay. And the validity period of my edition 1 is, you can see in the top, 01/21 to 999. So edition 1 validity period is January 2021 till end of the date. So this is the edition I have. I created a GL account. Okay. And while creating this GL account, edition 1 I selected. Similarly, I also created account B, account A and account B. Account B also I created. At the time, for account A and account B, I selected my edition E1. So for both account A and account B, the validity period is initially set to 01 January 2021 to end of the date. You can see here. Okay. So account A is created with edition 1. And this, after that, this account never got changed. So the validity period is same, 21 to 999. Now coming back to account B. Account B is initially created with E1. That means the same. So the validity period of the account B is 01/21 till 999. 999. Okay. After that, sometime in February, I tried to change this account B using a new change request. I wanted to do some changes. So I did some changes for the account B. So then what happens? I selected edition 2 this time. Because the edition 2 validity period is February 21 till 999. So after this, the change, okay, you can see the validity period for this account B is set to 02/21 till 999. Now you have two validity periods for account B. One is from January to, as soon as you use this edition 2, right? The old existing record validity period will be set to 31st January, and the new validity period will be set to February 21 till 999. That's how you got two records over here. For account B, there are two validity. It's the same account, but you will have, it falls under two validity period. So between January to February, you will have one set of changes, and for February to 999, you have another set of changes. After that, if I did some more changes in March, and that time if I select edition some 3 or something, there will be one more. So whenever you are doing some changes to your master data, if you are using the same validity period, there will be one copy. If you are using different editions for each change, the edition of the validity period of the edition will be automatically applied, and you will have multiple copies of the data. That's how in this example, you can see you have two records over here for the same 29/6/0029 record. One is from January, 1st December 2020 till 14th December. The value will be applicable is test secondary, and from 15th December to 999, the description for the same record is test secondary ED. So when you search, whenever you search with a GL account cost center, if there are multiple records are there with different validity periods, you will get to see all the records over here. Don't get confused why I got two records, because there are multiple validity periods are there, and that's why you see these records. So I hope this example will give you an idea what is the significance of addition.
Yeah, it does give some idea, but I'm just thinking if the same concept, can that not be part of change request itself? I mean, why if there is
Exactly.
a
Yeah, I mean,
validity
even,
period?
yeah. So at the change, instead of confusing like this, right? So they
Yeah.
can also have this at the change request type level itself. We never know. Maybe this was one of the old concept that SAP, when they released the finance object under MDG, so they came up with this concept. From then till now, there are no changes, and the same concept continues from your MDG on ECC or MDG on S/4HANA. Right. Maybe
So
SAP can come up with a new concept, and they can remove this addition concept. At the change request itself, they can enable something. So we don't know how they design, but for sure, there is some design change that is happening.
Okay. And the period that they are selecting, it is quite lengthy period. They can do that for a financial year from from Jan to December or whatever that.
Yeah. So
right.
what happens is, now let's take, for example, January 1st to December 31st is my financial period. So what happens? I will create one edition. Initially, when you create an edition, what happens is the end date only you will specify. What is the end date? January 1st, 2024 till 31st. So you will mention only the end date, start date, valid from. End date will be by default 999 31st December initially. Now what happens in next year, in January 1st, you wanted to create a new edition. So that time what happens, you can set manually the previous edition end date to 31st December 2024, and you can create a new edition. So that you have to do it. Okay, so if you go to this one only in the finance master, let me show you here. Edition. Yep. Editions, right? Edition comparison, not this one. There should be some.
But you don't need to do that, right? So when we have the one cost center created for this year, that will remain same until whatever the period is. We don't need to change every year, isn't it? The financial year doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it's not necessary. But whenever you wanted to end your edition, right? So you can
Yes.
actually go with this.
Yeah.
But there is an option, edition. This is creation, not create. There is an option. Let me just check. Not here. Analysis of editions. Yeah. So here you see, this is the edition which I created.
Yeah.
Now I wanted to close this edition. Let's say, for example, the old one. This is one of the existing edition. The status is in progress. That is, it is active.
Yeah.
Now you can set the status to release or mark for release or whatever. They set the status. When you release this, that end date will be set to this. The status will be set to end date will be date.
Right. Okay.
So you are telling that if end date is 999, that will be changed to date.
Yes. Whenever you release an edition.
Then again, we can't use the same edition for the another.
No, you will create a new edition.
Okay. Basically, the release means actually stop using that.
Yeah. So
edition.
stop using. Yeah. Basically, you are releasing. Currently, it is in progress. This edition is being used by multiple CRs and multiple objects.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But before releasing this edition, you need to just all the pending CRs has to be closed.
Yeah.
All the pending
Closed in
CRs
the
has to be
sense,
closed.
we have to be final check.
Approved or rejected, either activated or deactivated.
Okay, then before releasing that edition, we should make sure that all the CRs under that edition should be closed.
Yes. Okay. So if I try to set this one release, I'll get an error message saying that cannot be released, change requests are open.
Okay.
Because there is no point in closing this edition, right? When some CRs are pending for approval.
Yeah. I mean, that's one level above the CR. So I think all those things should be closed. Otherwise, it will not make any sense. Yeah.
Okay. So that's all about edition, not much. Okay. So after this, there is we wanted to discuss about the Fiori apps. Okay. So first, let me show you how it look like. The design. Yeah, Fiori Launchpad. You can see this is the T code. You are just like how we are entering NWBC and opening the FPM applications. Similarly, you have this Fiori Launchpad. So this is the place where you can find your applications. Okay, so click on this. So this one also opens up in a browser. So that Fiori Launchpad URL I just opened in this Edge browser.
Should be the same user ID password for everything.
Yeah, it's the same user ID password. So usually this hyperlink, we will share it with the business users. Okay. Why this came? Let me. The central governance, you can find the applications here. When you click on all the apps, so it shows all that applications here, but I want the tile view. Yeah, analyze MDG change request. Okay, so data quality, central governance. Okay, so you can see here. So these are the different roles in the tab, just like in NWBC also you have different tabs, right? So you can see all the apps that you can access for your user ID credentials that you can find over here. So you can navigate in the top, it shows like business partner governance, material governance, likewise it will show you. Okay, now under this one, so this we call it as a kind of a catalog, business catalog. So here there are two concepts are there: business catalog, catalog and group, business groups. Okay, so there are two concepts are there. So the one that you see under this business partner, this whole section, like under central governance, there are some, these are the different tiles in the sense, when you click on this one, it will open up your my change request application. When you click on this one, it will open up your BP create or change scenario. So likewise, it will launch the respective applications, right? So likewise, you have central governance, consolidation, some DQM, different, your tiles are organized in this particular manner. Okay. So each, this whole section, this central governance that you see over here, this we call it as a business catalog. And under this business catalog, you can, under this central governance, you can add 10 applications. But here, by default, you will show only the most frequently used applications only. Out of 10, you are showing only 5. So this 5, we call it as a group. So there is something called catalog and group. In the catalog, I will have 10 applications. But in the group, I will add only 5 applications, which are most commonly used, right? Then why you need to have only this 5? What about the remaining ones? The remaining 5. Remaining 5 also you can access by actually searching your application name. You can open this search bar, you can search with the application name. Or else why to confuse unnecessarily, let's add all the 10. Then in the group also you can add all the 10 applications as well. Okay, so now I will show you how to actually identify, create these catalogs and groups and everything. Okay, so what happens here? Let's say, for example, my inbox is there. When you click on this one, it will open up your my change request application. I think basically in the backend it is not configured. I will also show you how to configure those things as okay. So what happens is basically before this is your step 3 and this is your step 4. Step 1 and 2 are for every Fiori application, there is something called in the backend, you have something called OData. Okay. On the front end, you will have something called the application name, Fiori application name, application. Okay. So the one that you are seeing on the, when you click on this application right here, when you click on this particular application, let's say, for example, import this one, import master data. So when you click on this application, it is opening up one UI. So this UI is the one front end application. So this UI has to be activated at the same time corresponding to this foreground UI. In the backend, you will be having the technical in the backend, the technical, we call it as the OData. Okay, so the backend has to be activated. Both OData and application has to be activated before you start configuring your Fiori applications. All these are the standard Fiori applications only. So we don't actually, we will only configure the standard Fiori applications. Okay, SAP provided these applications already. All you need to do is you need to perform these 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to display these applications on the UI. So this OData and application activation will be done by Basis people only. But Basis doesn't know what OData service they have to activate and what application they have to activate. So we need to tell them that, boss, for this particular Fiori application, please activate this OData and this application service. Then they will do. After that, there are standard business catalogs and groups are there. Either you can provide the names of those catalogs and groups to security team, or else you can create a copy of the standard into Z, and that Z you can provide it the catalog and group to the security. So they will add, once you create this catalog and group, so they will add security folks. Security folks will add they will add this under a specific role, security role, PFCG role. And whoever is this role, if you assign this role to the users, and those users, because they have this access to this role, under this role, these business catalogs are there, and they can see these applications. And once they can see these applications, they will try to click that application to perform some activity. Because the corresponding backend OData and applications are active, so you should be able to perform the activity. Okay, so now our first one, I will show you how to identify this one, OData service. Okay, so go to Google. So here you have something called Fiori application. You need to search with Fiori application library. Everything information is available over here. It's all about how we can actually utilize this. Okay, so you can go to SAP Fiori application library. Okay, so this is SAP Fiori reference library. Okay, so for whether it's an MDG Fiori application or it is your MM or BP or whatever, maybe your other modules, SD, MM, finance, any module Fiori applications are available over here. Okay, so you can find all the information over here. You need to just search it. Okay, so click on this all applications. There will be a search bar. Now you need to search for if you know the MDG Fiori application name, you can search over here. Let's say, for example, manage product master. So this is one of the Fiori application name. So you can search here. Okay, it will show you all the relevant search. Okay, so manage product master data. Okay, so there is an application. This is the Fiori application that we use for material master data changes. Okay, so you can select this application. You can find the description about this application, some details about this application. Okay, now here we wanted to use if you go to this particular drop down, there are two options are there. You need to decide where you wanted to activate. Usually it will be an SAP S/4HANA, not on the cloud. If you are activating this on the cloud version, you need to choose this drop down. If you wanted to activate it on your SAP S/4HANA, you can choose S/4HANA only, and your release as well. What is your current system release? So accordingly, you can actually choose the current, the right relevant release. Okay. And after that, you need to go to implementation information. Here, you will get for this particular Fiori app, Manage Product Master Data app, all we need to know is what is the OData, what is the application, business catalog, and business group. So that you will find it over here. You can see here in the configuration, it shows first OData service. You see here, OData service. So you will find the OData service name over here. This is the name of the OData service. So this OData service, basically Basis will activate. You need to provide this OData service name to Basis. They will activate this. How to activate? There is a separate transaction code. IWFND maintain service. /m/iwfnd underscore maintain sub iwfnd slash maintain underscore service. So this is the T code. This is the place where basis will be activating the OData services. Okay, so you can go to add service and you need to provide your service name. What is the service name? This is the service name. Copy the service name. Where there is a service name and search. Get service. Okay. Usually when you enter this name, you will find when you click on get service, it automatically shows. If it is not coming, means basically this is already activated. So you can go back. Here you can search. Okay. You can see here, this is the service name which we are trying to activate. MD underscore C product maintenance service. So this is a one MD. So this is already activated. That's why you don't find in the add service one. So, but anyway, you can see the status, it shows this green, which is already active status. But if it is not activated, basis will go to this T code and they will enter the service name and they will add it so that it automatically gets activated. So first part is done for OData, the service activation. What is the second part? It says once your OData service is activated, yeah. So once your OData is activated, the second one is your UI application. So you can see here, these are the UI, the technical names, the node. So this also will be activated by basis only. But how to activate this? The transaction code is SICF. SICF. All these will be done by first two activities will be done by basis only. Okay. So you can, they provided the path. So take this one, copy this name and enter here your service name. Click on execute. Okay. So here, not this. Service name is this one. You can enter directly this name. Okay, it automatically. So basically, this is the path SAP BC UI5. So it's the same path SAP BC UI5 under that SAP, and this is the service name. Now, this is already in active state. So right click, you will see here. If it is already active, you will see only option deactivate. If it is not yet activated, you will see the option this one. So basically, this is not in grayed out. It is active status. So that means this service is already active. This particular service. So otherwise, basis will activate from here. They will right click and click on activate service. So they will activate from here. So that's how these two activities will be done by basis, OData, and application. But basis doesn't know which application you wanted to activate. So what is the OData and application name for that, right? So that's where you need to go to SAP Fiori application library, search with your application name, get your UI application and OData service, and provide the details to them. Okay. And once this is done, the second part is business catalog and business groups. So this business catalog also is already available over here. If you scroll down. So this particular application exists in all these business catalogs, Okay. So these are the out-of-box business catalogs. Either you can provide this catalog to your security team, they will add this to the user role. They'll create it to a role and they'll assign all these catalogs to a role. Catalog and group both are here only. Okay. But sometimes what happens is some people, right? So this catalog might contain some limited number of apps, but I need one single catalog which contains applications from MMBP and all that stuff. That's where you might need to create a Z catalog. In the Z catalog, you can add applications from all these different business catalogs. So how do you configure that? There is a T code to configure your catalogs.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
There's something called customizing, designer, FLPD_cust. So this is the T code for Fiori Launchpad Designer. So when you open this, okay. So this is just like in NWBC applications, how we have that fluid editor, right? Where you add all the UIBBs and everything. This is the place where you can configure your catalogs and groups. All the standard catalogs. Let's take one example. So as I said, this is one of the master data product. For material master, this is the catalog that SAP provided. So you copy this catalog, standard catalog, and you can, if you enter over here, click on search. So this is the catalog, master data product. You can see the description also, master data product. Now, when you select this catalog, right, under this catalog, these are the different tiles are there. What are those? Create material, change material, display material, okay, the change documents. So you have all different type of activities. Okay, so this is the catalog. Now, either you can copy, for example, right, you can provide this catalog to security team, this name of this catalog, because they don't know your catalog name, right? So you need to get the catalog name from Fiori application reference library and share with them. Once they have this catalog name, then what they can do is they also provided some of the standard roles as well. You can see the business roles are there already. In the down, you can see the business roles, solid out-of-box roles are there. You take any role here with the MDG. If you take any of this role, this particular role, go to PFCG, enter that role name. Under this role, that catalog is already added. So here, we will find, so these are the different catalogs. You can find the catalogs over here. How do you find that? Somewhere it will be there. It will show here only, under this one only, all your catalogs and groups. Where is this? One of this will be a catalog name. Master data. One of this should be a catalog name. So this is a place where they will be adding all the catalogs, additional activity. So that actually security team, they are aware of this. All they need is the name of this particular, either you can provide this role name to them, or else you can provide the business catalog and group name. So once you provide the catalog and group, they will create a role and add it up. Or else you also have another option. Let's say, for example, you wanted to create a Z role, right? So then what is this one which we... SAP CMD BCPR maintenance. So once you have this one, right, if at all you wanted to create a Z from this one, you can select this. You can see drag and drop. Here you have two options. Don't delete it, but it will create a new catalog with reference. That means it will create, you are copying the standard catalog into a Z catalog. So you can drop over here. So this is the original catalog name, right? And you can create Z prod _ master, your own catalog. Okay. Title and ID and copy. Okay. So once you copy, see here in the top, the tiles got copied from your original out-of-box catalog into Z catalog. Now save your changes and provide this Z catalog to your security team. In the same Z catalog, you can also add, let's say, for example, this is the Z catalog is there. Keep the name here. Now, let's say, for example, you wanted to add one more tile over here from different catalog. Then let's go over here. So let's find the catalog here. Enter the catalog. So you have this catalog. So there are some roles are there. Let's say, for example, some consolidation process or mass processing, some app is there, right? Now you can actually copy, select this, put it into create reference. Now it shows to which catalog you wanted to add. We already created one catalog. Copy this catalog, enter this catalog name over here. So you will see. So it got added into that catalog. Now what we added, start mass processing, right? Now you can actually enter that one. See, start mass processing app got added over here. So likewise, the reason I'm showing you how to create, of course, this is little technical in nature, okay? But we are not writing any code or anything. If at all you wanted to, let's say you have 3-4, your applications, Fiori applications are spread across multiple catalogs, business catalogs. Let's say, for example, let me show you here. Okay, so you have one standard catalog 1. Under this, you have one application 1. Another standard catalog. Under this one, you have application 2. And you have another catalog. Under this, you have application 3. Now, business requirement, of course, there are other applications are also there under the catalog. Multiple applications are there under this one. Okay, but business wants this one role with these applications only, right? So you cannot actually, it's very difficult to, we cannot basically provide all these catalogs into the business user role. What you can do, you can create one Z catalog, just like how I showed, add this application 1, add this application also, application 2, and add this one also, application 3. And this catalog you provide it to security team. What security will do? Security team, they create a new role, new user role, and in that user role, they'll add this Z catalog. Now, this particular role, if I assign it to my user ID, because my user ID has this role, and this role has this catalog, and this catalog has all these applications. Whenever I open the Fiori Launchpad, I'll get to see those applications. That's how you are seeing all these applications here. So you are seeing all these applications are like that. So in the backend, your OData service activation, your UI application activation, that will be done by basis. If either you can provide the standard catalog names to security or create a Z catalog and that Z catalog provide it to the security. I know that it's a little bit confusing, but this is the process involved in enabling this Fiori configurations. This is what we do. Otherwise, what applications are there in Fiori from MDG point of view that you always can get it from your MDG. When you search with MDG, it will show you all your different applications in MDG, Fiori, all the different Fiori applications. Okay.
And we can create our own Fiori application as well.
Yeah. Now, yes, but that will be a long process. Long process in the sense you need a Fiori developer, hardcode Fiori developer, right? Because what are the things that are involved in to display that Fiori application on the UI? First of all, so the OData is there. So OData acts as a so you have your MDG system or any SAP system. OData is not only for MDG, it is for SAP. Okay, just like how you have RFCs and everything, OData is a one technique which contains this is a backend service, and on the front end you will have a Fiori UI, right? And the user will log in and he will enter the data. This data will be handed over to your OData, and OData will in the backend, it will do all the processing, all the coding and everything will be there over here. And the response will be sent back to your UI. That means you first, to build a custom Fiori application, you need to build this OData and the corresponding UI. And then only you can actually bring that Fiori application onto the UI. After that, you have business catalog and group.
Yeah, I think the OData creation is the biggest part, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Connecting
in OData, it's not one data. There can be multiple ODatas for one single UI.
Yeah. But major all the MDG related standard apps will be there anyway, right? So only
Not all the out of box, all the apps are available on Fiori. Okay, but if you ask me, mostly Fiori applications will be used by business users for approving the request or just viewing the data, because Fiori is a lightweight application. So if you open your material creation, you have some 30 UIBBs, lots of data on your FPM application. We don't bring all that into on the Fiori. Fiori will be a lighter application where you will have enter the basic data and submit the request, or you will have approval applications and those things. So there is a document which I actually captured from MDG point of view for the Fiori. We covered the iDocs thing. Let me share my screen. See, for monitoring your iDocs, you can always go to the transaction code is W02. W02. Okay, this is the T code. Okay, you can provide your date, timestamp, or whatever if you know the IDOC number or the IDOC type. So there are input here you can use this, and when you actually put some date, right, and execute, you can see all the inbound and outbound IDOCs, whether what is the status, whether it is a failed or so. Okay, you can double click this and look at the status, why it got failed, what is the issue. So this is W0 is the most commonly used one where you can actually monitor your iDocs. Similarly, for SOVA, the T code is SRT_Moni. You can also always Google it. SRT_Moni is the one where you can actually monitor the SOVA messages.
Okay.
So here you can provide your timestamp. And let's say, for example, I'm not sure in the system if any messages are there, and just execute. You will see the SOVA messages as well over here. What is the message definition? So this is the product master message. When you double click this, you can always go to message body and you can see original XML. You will find this is the message material related one. So what is a material number will be, what is a recipient, okay, so to which system it is coming up. There will be product ID also will be there somewhere, the material number. So it contains all that information, your product internal ID. This is your material number.
Okay.
So likewise, this is you can find all the message over here with the plant related information. Okay, so likewise. So this you can always monitor over here, whether it was success or failure. You can see the status over here, all the different SOA messages. So these are the only two T codes that we use. For SOA, it will be SRT money. For IDOC, it will be W02.
Okay.
And again, I strongly recommend whenever you have some doubts, always go. I also mentioned this in our start of the session. So MDG community. Okay. So Master Data Governance SAP community. So it has a lot of information. Almost 99% all your doubts, everything will be clarified. Okay. How and where, I will show you. There are something called here how-to guides. SAP how-to guides. How-to information here. For every object wise, you have the information over here. For material master, for customer, vendor. So lot of documentation. Some of them are videos, some of them are PDFs, which you can download. For every scenario that you encounter, you will have for most of them, the solution over here. Okay. So let me look at extension. So extend MDG business partner. How to extend MDG business partner. There is an example document provided over here. Okay. How to extend your material master. There is a document provided over here. Okay. So this is how to extend BP with a Z table. There is a document. So step-by-step documents. You need to just follow these steps. There's a lot of documentation with the extension. And this is for the Utopia solution also, you will find the documentation over here for EAM objects. Okay. So try to explore this page, one single page with lot of good content. Okay. So you can actually explore this page. So you will find most of the scenarios. How to enhance your BRF decision tables. We discussed about that context preparation body. Parallel workflows. So we discussed about this parallel workflow handler body. So everything is available over here. Dynamic approvals. So you have an example. So all these scenarios are based on for your rule-based workflows. So workflows related, they provided different examples over here. Custom objects, whatever we created, right? So that data model and everything, the examples are here. Okay. So there's a good amount of information is there. I try to cover as much as from this documentation, but you can also try to spend some time when you have some time over here.